Okay, so let's get right into it. Picking an AI tool right now isn't just about choosing a cool new app. It's a massive strategic decision. This is going to shape how you work, what your team can do. It's basically the new operating system for your business. You've got to get this right.
And that's really what this is all about. When it comes to AI, you absolutely have to bet on the right horse. For a while, yeah, ChatGPT was the safe bet, the default choice. But today, we're going to break down why the smart money is shifting and why the horse to back right now is Claude. So here's the plan. First, we're going to talk about why this is such a critical bet to make. Then we'll dive into the whole Claude ecosystem. We'll see how it works in your browser, how it can automate your entire computer, and this is a big one, how to switch without losing anything. And we'll wrap it all up with a challenge for you.
All right, first things first, betting on the right horse. Before we even look at a single feature, we have to look at the companies behind these tools. Because look, when you go all in on a platform, you're not just buying a product, you're investing in their vision and their stability.
And this slide really tells a fascinating story. On one side, you've got OpenAI. They're starting to run ads. There are projections of a $14 billion loss by 2026, and some folks are saying they could literally run out of cash in a few years. It feels like they're making moves out of pressure. But then you look at Anthropic, the team behind Claude. Their cash burn is going down. Their revenue doubled last year, and they're doing it all while being a third of the size of OpenAI. They're not just reacting, they're leading. Okay, so with that solid foundation, let's look at what they're actually building. And here's the key thing you gotta understand. Claude isn't just another chatbot. It's a complete, integrated ecosystem where every single part is built to work together.
And that ecosystem is built on four main pillars. You've got Claude Chat, which is your go-to for writing and research. There's Claude Chrome, an AI that lives right in your browser. Then there's Claude Cowork, an agent that can automate stuff across your entire computer. And finally, Claude Code, which lets you build your own software just by describing it. So let's break these down. So let's start with Chat. A lot of people think these are interchangeable, but they are not. First, let's talk memory. Yeah, they both have huge context windows, but you know what they say, it's not how big it is, it's how you use it. Claude's memory is razor sharp, it stays relevant. ChatGPT sometimes feels like it's just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And the tonality is a game changer. Claude writes like a sharp, insightful colleague. ChatGPT just gives you an answer, and honestly, sometimes it feels kind of annoyed you even asked. And let me give you a perfect real-world example of this. At Martell Ventures, they were using ChatGPT to go through investment forms, and the results were always kind of meh, surface level. The very first time they tried Claude on the exact same data, it started finding these deep, non-obvious connections between, say, revenue numbers and specific client problems, stuff they hadn't even thought to look for. The quality of the analysis just went through the roof. Okay, so Claude thinks better and writes better, but what about when you're not in a chat window? What about when you're actually out there working on the web? Well, that's where the Claude Chrome extension comes in, and this thing literally turns your browser into an active AI-powered command center. Think about doing competitive research. Normally, that's a slog. With this, you just go to a competitor's website, click the Claude icon, and you can literally just say with your voice, hey, pull the pricing, features, and positioning from this page. Bam, it does it. Then you say, okay, do that for these other two sites and then put it all in a comparison chart for me. A job that used to take all afternoon is now done in like 3 minutes. It's insane. And it gets crazier. You can have it scan your Slack and draft replies for you. You can ask it to navigate a complicated website for you. And get this, it can watch you do a task and then automatically write up a standard operating procedure, an SOP for your team based on what you did. Wild. So the Chrome extension basically owns your browser. But what about everything else, right? What about your local files, your desktop apps, all the work you do offline? Well, that's where the next two pillars come in, Claude Cowork and Claude Code. Now, this is a really important distinction. Claude Cowork is an AI agent that runs on your actual computer. We're not in a browser tab anymore. This means it can open desktop apps, it can organize files on your hard drive, it can pull info from a spreadsheet and a PDF to build a report for you. And now it has scheduling. This is where it becomes your personal robot assistant. You know all those little repetitive things you have to do every day or every week? You can just tell Cowork to do them for you. It's just like that old infomercial. You can set it and forget it. You could literally tell it, every Monday at 9 a.m., I want you to scan these 3 project folders, write a summary, and post it in Slack. And boom, that task is just gone from your life, forever. And this leads to a huge mental shift, a really profound one. With a tool like this, your job isn't to do the tedious work anymore. Your job is to direct the work. You get to be the director, not the doer.
And now for the part that sounds like science fiction. Claude Code. Have you ever had a great idea for a tool or an app for your business, but you have no idea how to code? Well, that barrier is just gone. You literally just describe what you want in plain English, and Claude built it for you.
I mean, look how simple this is. You can just say, build me a landing page. The offer is a coaching package for $5,000. I need a headline, 3 benefits, and a button. And it generates the code. And if you don't like how it looks, you don't need to know CSS. You just say, you know what? Redesign it. Make it look like Apple. And it does it. This is a process that used to cost thousands of dollars and take weeks. And this isn't just a toy. One company literally shut down for 2 days to train their entire team on Claude Code. And the result? They solved some of their biggest, longest-standing business problems and saw a 3 times improvement in their overall productivity. 3x. Okay, I know exactly what you're thinking right now. This sounds amazing, but I've spent months training ChatGPT. It knows my business, my voice, my projects. I can't just start from scratch. I hear you, and you don't have to. You can bring your entire AI history over to Claude in about 2 minutes. Seriously, you just go to Claude's settings, you click import memory, it gives you a special prompt to copy, you paste that prompt into ChatGPT, and it spits out a summary of everything it knows about you. You copy that summary, paste it back into Claude, and you're done. All that history, all that context is now inside a much, much more powerful system. So, there you have it. We've looked at everything from the stability of the company to the power of this incredible ecosystem. The only thing left to do now is for you to actually feel the difference for yourself. So here's my challenge to you. For just 1 week, make Claude your main AI. Not just something you poke out on the side, your go-to primary tool. Give it your hardest problems, ask it your most complex questions, and just see what happens.
And as you do that, I want you to ask yourself this question. Now that you know what's possible with tools like Claude Code, if you had a full-time, dedicated engineering team ready to build literally anything you could dream up, what would you ask them to build? Because the answer to that question is now completely within your reach.